Hello there, this is Mike Jones from KC Home Hunters. My goal this year is to make a shooting gallery for the kids so they can turn on my props by shooting them with a laser gun. I'm going to use this little laser pointer here right now since I don't have the gun built yet. But I wanted to show you that with a Raspberry Pi and a relay controller, you can easily do that with just about anything. The guy over here on the left, he is running off of 5 volts DC from just a computer power supply, which is right there, to run a wiper motor and just spin the head around. The little pumpkins right here in the middle, they are just a store-bought decoration, you can see. And if you, I don't know if you can see it or not, I hacked the test button, and just simply when the relay closes, it actually just pushes the button and it starts the test. And up here I've got a guy with a light bulb in his mouth, and he's running off of 120 volts. So I'm just trying to show you that you can pretty much do anything you want to with these relays. Here is kind of my setup. Here's a little breadboard that has the connectors to the light sensors, which I just put, I'll talk about this in a minute. There's a light sensor right there, wired back here. It's kind of a mess. So I have my light sensor hooked up to my Raspberry Pi. Then I have my Raspberry Pi hooked up to a relay controller, and I do believe that is the button for the pumpkins. That is my relay for the wiper motor, and then I've got 110 over here. And there goes my speakers, so hold on just a second. Okay, I got my speakers. They are some really crappy speakers that they lose their connection every once in a while, so then they start making lots of noise. So anyway, so that was all my devices. I've got a light sensor on each one of those. So I'm going to step back here, I don't know, 10-15 feet, something like that. And just with a laser pointer, I'll point it here on the wall so you can see it right there. Dancing around, we'll start off with my skull here. And as soon as I hit it, then the music goes off. I've got Toccata and Fugue rolling out there. And again, as long as the music is playing, kind of went a little silent, but as long as the music's playing, then that light will stay on. I plan on using a flicker box or something like that to make it really cool, but this is just for proof of concept. Alright, so that was the first one. The second one here is the pumpkins. You got the light up here on the wall, and it's just going to go. It actually goes for a long time, unfortunately, but just to show you. So this is just simply hacked into a test button. It's just literally same as just going up there and pushing the button. And I wish it would stop right there. I could actually make it so that if I hit it twice it would shut off, but I didn't do that. So bear with me. Alright, and the other one here is the wiper motor, which is 5 volts, so it goes slow, and I'll hit it. Now it also has sounds. See if I can come over here and so you can hear the sounds. Now the only problem with that spinning head is that sometimes it does that. It spins around backwards when the sound stops. I could put another switch in there that would make it stop basically on facing me, or there's some wiper motors that will do a revolution, and I could just keep doing revolutions until the music stopped or the sound stopped. But that's that. If you, as a side note, this little guy over here is called Paco. I made him at Creep Fest a few years ago. I did a demonstration on using plastic garbage bags to make heads with. If I can get you in focus there. And it failed miserably, but I went ahead, threw some hair on him and painted him. And anyway, that's what he turned out as. Not terrible, but yeah, it was kind of an embarrassing little demo because I wasn't really paying attention and the head didn't really come out all that great, but so be it. There he is. So that's really all that I've got. I have an 8-channel controller, so I could actually control 8 things. The Raspberry Pi coming out analog audio only does 2 channels, so if you wanted to do a channel for each one of those relays, then you would have to plug in a sound card through the USB or something like that, or you could use HDMI out and possibly get 7.1 surround sound. But that's all I've got right now. It works, so that means that I can do that. The light sensor that I'm using is just a basic one. I bought a pack of 10. Let me see if I can get it in focus here. That is the same thing that is in a security lights, things like that. But I bought a pack of 10 or 15 of them off of Amazon, and that's what I'm using. The actual thing here is a top off of a roller deodorant container, and then I put the sensor underneath it, and I just put some extra tape on there because I've been working with the overhead lights, so I didn't want them to interfere, even though they haven't. The only thing that I've seen that really will interfere with these is bright sunlight. Other than that, they seem to be pretty good working with just the laser light, even with the lights on overhead. So I don't really anticipate any issues on Halloween night. I also wanted to make these the rollerball caps disperse the light a little bit more, so it makes it easier to hit the target, so you're not trying to point at this little tiny thing. You actually, when you hit this, let me hit this guy right here, it actually you can kind of see inside there, it makes the light a lot bigger, and that makes the sense. Uh-oh, there goes my speakers again. There goes the, hold on just a second. All right, turn them off. So anyway, you hit the cap for the roller ball, and that disperses the light a little bit more, makes it a whole lot easier to hit the target. I could also put a circle around that with a couple LEDs that are flashers, and it'd be just like the ones you see at Bass Pro Shop or Worlds of Fun or any of those other little target spots where you have to hit a target and then makes the animation go. So anyway, this is using a Raspberry Pi. I've only got, well, I'm using 6 channels, or 6 of the general purpose input-output pins, 3 for the inputs, 3 for the outputs. I could put a multiplexer on there and get a whole lot more. If I did a 3 to 8 decoder or encoder on either end, then I could get easily probably 24 different animations working straight off of this one Raspberry Pi. Of course, they would each have to have their own audio if you wanted to do audio. Well, 2 of them could be off of this, but you could also just have your the relay also work on the audio. So the audio, you have a CD player running, and then the speaker only comes on when the relay hits. So that's another way to do the audio. But anyway, I just wanted to, this is a proof of concept here. Just wanted to show everybody that it can be done. If you have any questions, let me know, and try to get you up and running. I did this on a Raspberry Pi. You can also do it on an Arduino, probably a Pickaxe chips, and BeagleBone, any of the other little, anything that has GPIO pins, general purpose input-output pins, you can do this stuff with. And the whole thing, I think that 8 relay controller was $8. The Raspberry Pi was, at the time when I bought it, $35, and all the little wires and knickknacks and whatnot probably cost me another $10. So for $50, not only do you get you can control 8 objects, but you get your sound. There's an HDMI port on the Raspberry Pi, so I could actually do a video projection also, which I'm thinking about possibly doing ghosts or something like that. You click on one and then the projector comes on and does a ghost reel up the house, something like that. And anyway, a whole lot cheaper than Peekaboo or any of the other controllers out there. You just got to do a little bit of work on them. So anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Bye. I forgot to mention last time around that you can run all of these at the same time, so I will show that now. So it is multi-threaded so that no matter how many you've got, you can run them in different threads and they will all do just fine.